Hey, what is up everybody? Welcome back to the Mid-Level Media channel, your hub for everything physical media and entertainment. I'm Ken. Today, guys, we're going to talk about Red Rock West, and I'm going to talk about this beautiful Vinegar Syndrome version I have right here as a part of the Cinematographe line. This is number 2 in that line, or Cinematographe. I feel like somebody told me that was the proper way to pronounce it. I'm probably going to say both in today's video, cinematography or cinematography, however you want to pronounce it. Vinegar Syndrome, we'll just call it that. But not only are we going to talk about the Vinegar Syndrome version of Red Rock West, but as promised, I am going to be doing a little comparing to the Umbrella Entertainment version that came out back in November. So I did an unboxing of this, I think about a month and a half ago, and I talked about, you know, of course, the Vinegar Syndrome version that was coming, and I said, you know what, when I get this, I'm going to do some comparing with the two, and I'm going to talk about the movie because I had never seen Red Rock West. So interestingly enough, back I think like 2 years ago on the channel, I did a Nicolas Cage theme month where I was trying to watch as many Nicolas Cage movies as I possibly could, and so many people recommended Red Rock West. I was like, what is this movie? I've never heard of it before. I looked it up and there was no North American Blu-ray. So I'm pretty sure that Red Rock West, the first time ever it's being released in North America, is with this Vinegar Syndrome release on Blu-ray, which is very cool. Both of these, by the way, are Blu-ray editions. They are not 4K. It is cool that for the first time ever, this is being released on Blu-ray in North America. It got, I believe, a UK release as a part of the, I think, Plan B line, I think is what that's called. It's a part of another label, but Plan B, if I remember correctly, is who released that in the UK. And then, of course, Umbrella in Australia released it back in November. So we're just being flooded with Red Rock West. That's such a tongue twister in and of itself as well. Releases, and it's awesome, you know, because again, I watched this movie for the first time. And guys, before we get into talking about it, I guess I should say this: like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, guys, all that YouTube business. Let me know in the comment section below, what do you think of this movie? But my thoughts on this movie, I really enjoyed this film a lot, and I enjoyed it so much. And this has Nicolas Cage, you got Dennis Hopper's in this movie, great people. Laura Flynn Boyle, I think is how you pronounce her name, but I know her, I do not know her from Twin Peaks, which I know she was in that show. They were talking about that in the special features. She's a big actress on that show, the David Lynch show. I've never seen that show. I know that actress from Wayne's World, which is kind of funny because in this movie, her husband's name is Wayne, which I kind of thought was a little funny, but yeah, she's the gun rack ex-girlfriend in Wayne's World. And I think that's the only other thing I've seen her in, but she was terrific in this movie. I definitely want to seek out more of her work for sure. She was absolutely terrific. Nicolas Cage is excellent in this movie. Dennis Hopper's excellent. I don't know the name of the other actor. Probably if I look on the back long enough, I'll find it. I think J.T. Walsh, but he plays the husband, and he's really good as well. But yeah, just a really good modern film noir about kind of a drifter. Nicolas Cage kind of plays a drifter. He's a former member of the military. He hurt his knee. He's trying to get a job. They won't let him on because he has a hurt knee. And he just kind of falls into this job in this town nearby called Red Rock West. And he gets involved in some criminal activity between a husband and a wife, and it just kind of goes south. Everything that could go wrong does go wrong, and it keeps escalating and escalating. But it's a great movie. It honestly reminded me a lot of Blood Simple, directed by the Coen brothers. So John Dahl, I think, definitely has that like Coen brothers style. And I don't know, again, Coen brothers came first, I'm pretty sure, because I think his first film was Kill Me Again, which I did watch. We'll get into that here in a second. But John Dahl, definitely, if you like the Coen brothers, I guess I should say, I think you should watch this movie because I think you'll really enjoy it. There's really a lot of Coen brother-esque elements in this film, but really an excellent movie. I didn't see what came at the end coming at all. Like, there's definitely a lot of good twists and turns throughout, and definitely some really great performances by everybody involved in this movie. But what I was going to say, I liked this movie so much. I started watching the special features, And they were talking about the John Dahl film noir trilogy, which starts with Kill Me Again in 1989, and then ends with The Last Seduction in 1994, which actually came a year after this one. This one is from 1993. So this one's kind of sandwiched in the middle of those two movies. But I'm like, you know what? I want to watch all these movies. And I looked them up, and they were both on Tubi. And I'm just kind of at the point, guys, where if I'm interested in watching something, I get so wrapped up in like what I bought and I need to watch my discs and physical discs and stuff that I'm just like, I don't want to stifle my curiosity anymore, I guess is what I'm saying. So I'm like, I want to watch these other two John Dahl movies. They look really interesting. And I did. And I watched them both on Tubi. I watched them both on streaming. And you know what? Down the line, I may pick up physical versions because I did enjoy both the films. But I really enjoyed just diving into 3 of his movies and getting to experience all of them and then kind of seeing the similarities between all of them. I will say that I've heard of The Last Seduction before. That's got the girl from, I can't think of her name, but she was in Men in Black. I'm killing myself right now trying to think of her name. She was in Men in Black. I'll put it down there at the bottom. And Dogma. Like she's a big actress from my childhood because I loved both those movies and I watched them over and over again. And she was great in that movie. The movie itself, though, I'd say is my least favorite of the 3. Peter Berg, he's a good director. He's a really good director. He's done a lot of great films with Mark Wahlberg, but so really good director. I've never really gotten into him as an actor though. He's always just seems, I just can't take him seriously as a character in a film. So I like the movie. I just didn't think that his performance, and Bill Pullman, I didn't think was that good at all. I think it was kind of intentional, his performance, but I just didn't really like him in the movie. And I like him in a lot of stuff, but I didn't like him in that movie. But Kill Me Again, I really, really love that one. And I would say that that one to me is, I don't think it's as good as Red Rock West. I think Red Rock West is probably the best of the 3. But that one's easily the second best, and I don't think it's that far off. Like, I really enjoyed that one. That one has Val Kilmer. It's got Michael Madsen in it. And the girl, which I don't know her name as well, she was awesome. Like, I really loved her performance in it. So all 3 of these movies, though, it's just a treat to watch all together. And they're all very similar. They all involve like couples that have some like issues involving money, and there's criminal activity, and then there's a third party that comes in, a male character that gets wrapped up with the female, the wife, and they all end in, I don't want to spoil it, but they all end where you don't think they would, but then when you watch all 3, you're like, oh, it makes sense. All of these pretty much end the exact same way. But I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm not going to go any further than that. But they were all so good, and I enjoyed them all so much. I was really happy to dive into all of the John Dahl films for sure. But let's talk about these releases themselves. So the Red Rock West Vinegar Syndrome release, this is actually a Blu-ray that is a 4K scan, whereas the Umbrella Edition is just a Blu-ray. I couldn't find any details about this being a 4K scan. Now, what I will say, just comparing the transfers, is on the surface, they both look good. I think that both of these are solid Blu-ray transfers, but since this one's a 4K scan, I did notice a cleaner picture overall, the higher resolution. It just looked better. It just looked cleaner. It looked a little bit crisper. So I did notice a difference between the two picture quality wise. And also with the Umbrella version, the colors were a little bit more saturated, I noticed also. And I took a couple of screen grabs, and I'll try to post them in here. But the colors were a little bit more saturated in this one. I noticed it right from the beginning because you got Nicolas Cage doing push-ups on the road with the sunrise behind him, or the sunset, or whatever it is. And it's all kind of orangey. In this one, it looks very, very orange. Whereas in the Vinegar Syndrome version, it just seems much more natural and much more realistic. And that's kind of all throughout the movie. And look, we talked about this recently with Footloose and people complaining about the lack of color. I'm kind of at this point, I like the more natural look. So I like the look of the Vinegar Syndrome version versus the Umbrella version. But to be honest, like, I feel like most people, you watch both of these, they're Blu-ray releases. They both look good. I don't think the difference in picture quality is that substantial. Now, getting into the sound, they're both exactly the same. You got DTS HD Master Audio 2.0, so, you know, no differences in sound, exactly the same there. And I had no issues with the sound. I thought the sound was excellent. Great score in this movie, and everything was great as far as the sound. Now, packaging-wise, let's get into the packaging real quick. I do like these editions. I do really like these editions. Nice hardbox case right here, Cinematography. I already did an unboxing of this on the channel, but I'll do it again. You take out this booklet right here. It's kind of like a storybook. It just feels like a book without a slip case over it, you know, like a hardback book. And it's nice. It's a really nice presentation. You have the title of the film right there. You open it up. I love the Cinematography logo right there, but really cool edition. You open it up, and I don't have the disc in here, but it's a red disc, and it's a booklet with a lot of information about the movie. I tried to read a little bit on it, and you got pictures and all that stuff. Again, guys, I did unboxings of these a couple of days ago, but some really good information about the film in here. I don't love the digibooks like I do just a regular hardbox case. We'll get into it with this one, but I think it's a really nice presentation, and I really love the artwork. You have this little, you know, string that dangles out, and you put it in there, which you don't need this at all to pull this out. You don't need, because you just flip it and it just falls out. But I do love the presentation. You have the sign to the town on the front. You have the skyline on the back. You got the, you know, the side right there. These are a little bit taller than the regular Vinegar Syndrome versions, box sets, and VSUs and stuff. So they're not really going to align together when you put these on the shelf, so I do want to call that out. But it's really nice packaging-wise. I do enjoy the packaging to that, and you got this nice J card attached to it also. Now with the umbrella version, I love this. It just pops, like all the font from all the different titles on the front and the yellow. And then on the back, you got a quote, a pull quote from the movie, and the car down there, which is super cool. And look, I love these box sets. I just love the Arrow box sets. I love the VSUs, and I'm much more of a box set with a case or a slip cover inside than I am a digibook kind of person. So packaging wise, I do prefer this umbrella version, but you got a cool booklet in here as well. This one's actually pretty cool because it actually goes into the different like film noirs around that time in the 80s and the 90s. You actually have one right here, Jade, with the same actress. So let me call out her name. Her name is Linda Fio. I'm not even going to be able to pronounce this, guys. Fiorentino, I think is how you pronounce it. So that's the actress's name. But she's in a movie called Jade, and I definitely want to check it out because she was so good in The Last Seduction. I really enjoyed her a lot. But yeah, they kind of talk about all the film noirs and stuff, and the inspirations for, you know, John Dahl. And He did a couple of other pretty well-known movies. Oh, he actually did Joyride. He did Joyride with Paul Walker and Leilani Sobieski, which I really love. I'm a big fan of Joyride. I would love to see Joyride get some kind of like big box set edition. I really enjoy that movie. But really cool booklet right here. You got art cards in here as well. And I love that umbrella puts, you know, the slip cases in here as well, which is super nice. You take it out of the slipcase, you have the classic poster art, you got the disc inside, you got a poster in here as well. So I think packaging wise, like Umbrella wins on this one, but as far as Umbrella, I think you can just get the regular version. And I'm not 100%, but I think this box set is actually sold out on the Umbrella website. So you may not even be able to get this at this point, but you can definitely get the regular version, which has all the same stuff. Now let's get into the special features, guys. So special features wise, there's actually quite a bit of difference here. And this is why I'm kind of glad I got both, because first off, I love the movie, so I want all the extra material that I can get out of it. But with the cinematography version, you do get an audio commentary here, which is a new audio commentary with historian Alan Silver and filmmaker Christopher Coppola. You also get a new interview with director and co-writer John Dahl, and that's a great interview. It's about 30 minutes long. And you also get a new interview with co-writer. It actually says John Dahl right here, but it's his brother, Rick Dahl, who worked with him on the movie. So there's actually a typo on the Vinegar Syndrome version right there, because it says John Dahl twice. So that's interesting. And then you get Desperate Times, Call for Desperate Measures, a new video essay by Chris O'Neill. So you get a new audio commentary with this version, this Vinegar Syndrome version, and you also get 2 new interviews and you get 1 new video essay. You also get an archival interview with editor Scott Chestnut, and you get Caged In, which is an archival video essay by Petros Patsilivas, I think is how you pronounce it. And you also get new text essays, which are in that booklet right there. Now with the umbrella version, you get a new audio commentary as well, so a different audio commentary. And in addition to that new audio commentary, you also get the archival commentary with John Dahl, Rick Dahl, and editor Scott Chestnut. So you do not get that commentary with the Vinegar Syndrome version. So you get 2 commentaries with the umbrella, whereas you only get 1 commentary with the Vinegar Syndrome version. But you also get The Man from Rhode Island, The Life and Times of J.T. Walsh, which is a new video essay, just kind of focusing on that actor. That's a pretty cool video essay. You also get a new John Dahl trailer reel. You also get a new interview with John Dahl and editor Scott Chestnut as well, which both of those interviews are not new to the umbrella version, but both of those are with the Plan B release. There was actually 3 new special features that came out with that Plan B release. Which is a new interview with director John Dahl, a new interview with editor Scott Chestnut, and a new interview with actor Dale Gibson. So all those new interviews are on the umbrella version that were on the Plan B. So those are not new to the umbrella, but those are new features that came out back in 2022 that are not on the Vinegar Syndrome release. And you also get Caged In. Host Pat Silvas talks Nicolas Cage performance. So that one was on the Vinegar Syndrome version. So there is a feature here that is on the Vinegar Syndrome version. But other than that, like, both of these are pretty different. Like, there's not a lot of crossover in terms of special features. Both the audio commentaries here are different than the one audio commentary that's on this one, and all the special features are different except for that one with the host Petros. But there you have it, guys. That's my comparison of both the editions of Red Rock West. I'm honestly happy I own both of these. And I don't know if I had to give one up, which one I would give up. Like, this one I think has better picture quality, but this one I feel like has a little more special features, especially with the 2 new audio commentaries. But I did like the director interview on this one better than I like the interview with the director on this one. This one was done with Skype, whereas this one was like in studio, just had better production value. So I don't know. I think at the end of the day, I'd probably pick the Vinegar Syndrome version over the umbrella. But if you live in Australia, of course, get the umbrella. If you live in the US, get the Vinegar Syndrome. If you live in the UK or somewhere else, maybe get the Vinegar Syndrome, especially since you can still get the packaging. So I'm a little conflicted, guys. They're both great additions. This is a great movie. I was glad I got it and watched it and was able to compare the 2 and let you guys know some of the differences in today's video. So if you can, drop the video a like, comment down below your thoughts on this movie if you're going to get one of these. If you have gotten one of these, which one? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Turn on bell notifications for all future videos and reviews, and follow me on all my social media accounts. Those links are down below in the description, and we'll see you next time.